Okay, within one operating concern, we can have multiple controlling areas. Similarly, within the controlling areas, we can have multiple company codes. Okay, and then within company codes, we can have multiple plants. You can see within this company code, I have plant 1 and I have plant 2. But this purchasing organization, I'm not saying it is linked to plant. This purchasing organizations and sales organizations, I'm also saying that within one company code, there can be multiple purchasing organizations and there can be multiple sales organizations. Okay, so I'm not saying this is linked. They are definitely linked in the system, but I don't want to unnecessarily confuse here. So this whatever I have written, purchasing org and sales org, I'm trying to say they are part of the company code. So within company code, there can be multiple purchasing orgs, and within one company code, there can be multiple sales orgs, or the other way around. We will discuss this in detail. As of now, I hope you understood what is operating concern, what is controlling area, what is company code, what are plants, purchasing org, and sales organizations. Any questions on this? Okay,
No.
now what I try to do is I will try to understand the explore phase and I will try to provide the values here. So let's assume we already discussed. Customer has answered this question. How many legal entities do they have? They have Walmart US, Walmart Germany, Walmart India. So this is the answer from the customer based on which we will try to set up our organization structure. So customer is using single operating concern.
Vikram,
Yeah.
yeah, this is Herman. One quick question. You just mentioned that operating concern is a only required for the COPA system, but within the operating system, we have a controlling areas, and controlling areas are mandatory for the S4HANA. So this
Right.
means operating concern is also mandatory for the SP4HANA?
No, no, Harman. Controlling area is used for other functionalities of controlling. COPA is just one functionality of controlling module. So if you are not using COPA, operating concern is not required. You can directly create the controlling area within the client. You can skip the operating concern step.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'll do now is I'll try to put the values here. So our operating concern, let's assume most of the companies, they use a single operating concern. So single operating concern for, I'll say Walmart. This is a single operating concern for Walmart. Now within Walmart, if I go to the controlling area level, normally again 99% or 98% of the time, most of the companies will only use a single controlling area. Okay, because what is the purpose of having the single controlling area? They can do the management accounting, they can look at their internal reports at the group level. Okay, and that is the reason, let's assume Walmart is using a single controlling area. So within operating concern, there is only one controlling area. Now within this, we agreed how many company codes, how many legal entities do they have?
Three.
Three legal entities, right? One in India, second in US, and third in Germany. So this is, let's assume, Walmart India. This is, let's assume, Walmart US. And last one is Walmart Germany. Okay, so these are the three legal entities. These are the three company codes we need to set up in the system to configure this scenario. Okay, let's go to the other questions now. So financial year followed by each legal entity and the group level. Okay, so this answer will definitely help me in financial enterprise structure, but it has nothing to do with the hierarchy that I'm drawing today. So let's assume US and Germany, they normally follow Jan to December financial year. while Indian legal entity follows April to March. So this is the answer that you got. This answer we will use in our FI related configuration. No need to discuss it as of now. How many plants? So let's assume they have given you the requirement, but I'm just putting in India. So for India, Walmart has 2 warehouses. Just for example, okay, one in, let's say, Bangalore, and second in, let's say, Mumbai. So these are the 2 plants which confirmed by Walmart that these are the 2 plants that I want to set up in SAP. So what I'll do is here in SAP, I will say plant 1. See, you can see within Walmart India. Within Walmart India, the plant 1 is in Bangalore and second is within Mumbai. So these are my plants. So within my company code, these are my different plants. Same way, we ask the question to Walmart that how many purchasing, what is your purchasing department structure? So they said, I have only one purchasing department for each country. Okay, which means Walmart India has one single purchasing department, which is Walmart India. Walmart US has one purchasing department, which is Walmart US. And Walmart Germany has a single purchasing department, again at the country level, which means I'll just copy this. So single purchasing department, single purchasing organization is required for each country. This will become my purchasing organization. Okay, same way, let's assume the sales organizations also are available at the country level. So I'm just pasting this. Let's assume these are my sales organizations. So this totally depends. Whenever you are setting up this enterprise structure, believe me, deciding the enterprise structure itself can take few months. Okay, it is not very straightforward. On day one, you ask this question, they provided the information, and I'm ready with the enterprise structure. There are a lot of factors to be considered in the enterprise structure. Okay, and as I told you, when we'll be discussing this tomorrow, module wise, we will understand what can be the different scenarios, when to propose what. We will try to discuss everything in detail. Right?
And Vikram, there is
So
no way to see this tree structure in SAP. If we go to any company, can we go to any transaction or anywhere where we
it
can
is
see
possible.
these trees? Oh, it is
It,
possible. Okay.
I'll show you.
Okay.
When we will configure our scenario, I will show you how exactly it looks like. Okay. Clear on this? Any questions? So totally based upon the business requirement. In this example, we kept it simple. We said there is only one purchasing department at the country level, but we can have 10 different purchasing departments at the country itself. So accordingly, we need to create the purchasing organizations, and accordingly, we need to create the sales organizations. Any questions?
Coming to this sales organization, currently we are defining only one for our country, India. Now, like if you see like Amazon India, Amazon.com, two things will be there. If globally procuring and locally procuring, and say something globally selling and locally selling. So such examples can we do here, like having like two purchase organization or two sales organization just for testing ourselves?
We can do that, but to be frank, normally for that purpose we don't create the separate purchasing organization. Within purchasing organization, we have a purchasing group concept. So purchasing organization India, but within purchasing organization India, group is, let's say, what two examples you give? Local and
Look, I'm procuring, I'm importing the goods. Like I'll have the conditions differently, purchase orders differently, duties, everything. When I procure locally, my things will be different. So the knowledge areas, people will be different, right? Like purchasing group, importing
So there are
and
two options.
purchasing local.
Yeah, Nagesh, there are two options here. One is you can go for the separate purchasing organization, If you have two separate teams responsible for two separate activities, in that case, you can go for two different purchasing organizations, or you can go for single purchasing organization, but you will divide them into two purchasing groups. So it totally depends upon how much is a deviation. If it is just a deviation that you want to segregate, then you can go for purchasing groups. But as you said, if my conditions are different and there are a lot of things which are different between purchasing organization 1 and 2, in that case, we recommend to go for the separate purchasing org.
But what do you call the configuration wise and like going forward, like how complications are there, we don't know. So I thought like if we can have one such scenario, it will be nice.
No, definitely. We will be discussing that, Nagesh, but that will be discussing during the MM module,
Okay, fine.
purchasing related. Yes. Okay. So what we have done till now, this is just one example that I'm trying to show you, that we have understood the business requirements. Okay, when are we going to do this? We are going to do this in our explore phase. In the explore phase, we will ask the questions, we will see their system, we will take the interviews, we will be using whatever techniques you want to understand what exactly this customer wants, how exactly they want to do their transactions in SAP. So based on that, you will come up with the answers. Okay, so in this one, it is just a small PPT that I am using, but in actually, you will be creating the Word document or maybe PDF. You will be submitting it to the business. You will take them that, okay, this is what I got the requirements from you. Am I correct, or there is any deviation? For example, they may have told you fourth company, but you missed to write it. So it is always good to verify these things, whatever you have written, before you start doing the configuration in the system. So that is the purpose of explore phase. In the explore phase, you will understand the requirements, you will capture it, you will document it, and then you will take the sign off before you proceed to the configuration phase. So if this is particular thing which is accepted by your business, then you will go to SAP system and you will try to set up this in the whatever node. So currently we are discussing about enterprise structure. That is the reason you will go to the enterprise structure. If you are discussing about the other scenarios related to FICO, related to MM, related to SD, you can see there are separate modules for each and every particular activity. Right. So in our case, if I want to set up the enterprise structure, I will go to this enterprise structure folder. I have to first define. Okay. So for example, I need to set up the company code. If I want to set up the company code, I will go to this particular transaction. If I want to set up the plant, I will go to logistics general and I will open this plant related settings. If I want to define the sales organization and purchase organization, those are available within sales and distribution and materials management. So you can see, even if you are using SAP S4HANA, the module wise, if you see internally, the names are not changed. This is not sourcing and procurement here. It is still called as materials management. So terminologies, you need to understand both. Okay, don't get confused that whether it is sourcing and procurement or it is MM. So even in SAP S4HANA also, we have the MM, we have the SD functionalities, but the name has been changed. That is the only difference. Yeah, any questions? Okay. Also, at any point in time, if you feel that I want to see the standard best practices, if you remember, I shown you the documents which you can download for best practices. If you are not able to download, I already told you that I will download on your behalf. So maybe this week I'll be sending you all the relevant PDFs. So if you remember, we discussed about the best practices. Okay, and if you open any best practice document, SAP has provided the default company code, default purchasing organization, default sales organization. So at any point of time, if you want to have something for reference, like how exactly SAP is configured. For example, you are trying to configure the purchasing organization and you are getting confused, what should I write here? So what you can do is, in order to refer, you can go to this purchasing organization 1710. This is the purchasing organization which is pre-delivered